Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Simon Mugo from Kenya Medical Training College. We do appreciate we as the young people for the efforts that you have put in place to ensure that we, the young people, we get job employment once we complete our schools and also from various skills that we are having. History has demonstrated that there is some kind of mistreatment which are happening to our own people, those who have gone abroad, and let's say, just to mention like the Arab countries. What are some of the measures that you have put in place to ensure that our people are safe outside there? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Alfred Ntua, I'm sure you are somewhere in this. Yes, can you answer Simon? Simon says, what is it that we are doing to make sure that, is it you or is it Rosalind? Maybe you can have a go first.
What exactly, I missed the question, Your Excellency.
The question was, there are some people who are mistreated working abroad. What is government doing?
One of the challenges that we've had for a long time is the ability of Kenyans who face problems being able to connect with the government to be able to assist them. We have ensured that Kenyans that go to different countries go to countries that have signed the International Labour Organization agreements. So they adhere to international organizations agreements. However, we have found out that our embassies overseas have not been fully equipped to really sort out problems. For example, I remember in the case of one country that I went to, people say they couldn't access any help from the labor attaché or the ambassador. So we have set up systems, including phone numbers, and we're about to set up an app for people to be able to report when they are in problems. As I think diaspora will be able to also explain, is that we have also set up safe houses so that you can actually leave your employer and go to a safe zone, which will be translating, will be assisted to come home. Your Excellency, I'd like to clarify at this juncture that we hear many stories of people saying they went to a country, they're not allowed to come home, they can't access medical care, and all those things. What usually happens is that when you go to a country to work, you go under a visa. Most of the time the visa is tied in to the employer who employs you. When you decide to move jobs and quit that job and you go work in the street or go work for somebody else who's giving you more money, your visa gets cancelled. You are out of status. That means some of these countries, your medical care is tied to the employer. You cannot seek medical treatment from a hospital. When you go to the hospital, they arrest you and they ship you back home. So Kenyans, some of them don't want to be shipped back home. So we're trying to encourage Kenyans that before you quit your job, please talk to our labor attachés. Let us go through the process of seeing how you need to move from one job to another job. Yes, Excellency.
Thank you. Rosalind, I think you have some information. Maybe you could just say something.
Right. Thank you, Excellency. And to add on to what Waziri Mutua has said, as the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, we've set up structures in the diaspora to ensure that Kenyans who work in the diaspora are protected. That is usually within our ministries, within our Kenya missions abroad, so the embassy or the High Commission, and we really insist that Kenyans who go to work abroad really register with us so that we know that they are there. When we've seen distress, Your Excellency, we've moved very quickly to deal with that. As we speak, we have just evacuated over 800 Kenyans from Lebanon, where the war broke out, and we've been able to bring back, and we're about to close phase 3 of that evacuation. So we stand ready to support Kenyans. Waziri has also discussed the need for Kenyans to travel to countries where we have migration agreements or labor agreements, and we have embarked on telling Kenyans about where these safe places are. So we still see certain challenges where often the people who have been mistreated is because they have been trafficked as opposed to having migrated for work. We've had challenges with certain countries. We've had challenges with Kenyans being trafficked under the guise of finding jobs in Thailand, but really they end up being trafficked to Myanmar and places around that region, including some that we intervened with just this week, Your Excellency, during this Jamhuri National Job Fair, where certain Kenyans were on their way to Thailand, but really they were going to be trafficked to Myanmar. So we are offering information around these, what are safe opportunities. And whenever there are questions about, does this job really exist? our ministry and the State Department for Diaspora Affairs can very quickly verify for you whether that job that you're seeing going around on WhatsApp is actually a legit job, or you're about to find yourself in a very difficult place.
Thank you, Rosalind. I think for those of you who wanted to ask that question, it is the reason why we are now signing bilateral labor agreements, so that we have an instrument to make sure that we can protect Kenyans wherever they are working. It is important, before you go to any destination, to know whether there is a bilateral labor agreement between that country and Kenya, because that is the framework where we can support you much more easily. The reason why I set up the State Department of Diaspora is exactly so that Rosalind can do what her and her team are doing, to support Kenyans in those spaces, to be able to validate some of the information you get in the internet. Make sure that you go under an arrangement where the government of Kenya knows, so that when you get into trouble, we can be able to assist you. Somebody had a, yes?